Tom, just sum up your Six Nations. It's been quite the journey for you.
Yeah, still kind of just taking it all in at the moment. Still processing it. It's been a crazy few weeks. Training in Portugal and then not involved in the France game and then playing off the bench a couple of times. Then unfortunately Jeremy picks up a knock and then been given an opportunity the last couple of weeks. So I don't know, I guess sitting here just extremely privileged and honoured to be part of this group. It's a special day and I just kind of really want to enjoy the moment.
So Andy, talking to you at the end there, what did he say to you on the pitch at the end?
Just well done. I guess it's trying not to overthink the last few weeks from switching over from traditionally tight head to getting experience at loosehead. But I guess for me the last few weeks is just trying to stick to my process. And I guess I just try not to really overthink it the last couple of weeks. But now that it's kind of finished up now, it's kind of nice to reflect and just kind of be proud of the efforts of this group. And I've had an unbelievable support network around me to help me to kind of perform, especially over the last couple of weeks, getting a start and getting an opportunity. So he just said well done. So I'm extremely honoured and extremely grateful to get that from Andy.
And just finally for me, I've spoken to you up at Ulster when you were out of the Ireland squad. How pleasing and how much do you appreciate being back in, and how have you got yourself back to this position now?
Yeah, obviously not being involved in November. I just tried to, the last couple of years I probably didn't feel particularly where I wanted it to be with my own personal game and my enjoyment of rugby, and not being in that group allowed me to kind of reflect on what's really important and allowed me to kind of take a step back and I knew that if I wanted to be back within this environment I had to kind of perform well for my province and play well for Ulster. So I just tried to narrow my focus and that's what I did, and fortunately enough I played well enough for my province to get selected within the squad, and it was from going into this campaign to where it is now, it's been an absolute journey for me, but extremely pleasing.
And Tom, Andy Farrell just singled you out there again.
Yeah.
So what does that feel like for you? Like, and as you say, you mentioned there the journey that you've been on and all the rest to be it.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Being in this environment, Faz has been in here for the last few years. Obviously wasn't in recently enough, but Faz is an incredible coach. He's an incredible motivator, and he spoke to me a few times throughout this campaign, one-on-one, and there's an expectation when you put on a green jersey and when you play for Ireland that you have to perform. So I just try not to give myself any excuses, and I just did my utmost to kind of play for this team and then to play for the coaches, because they create an unbelievable environment that you want to perform and you have to perform.
To win that scrum penalty, like obviously led to the opening try that Osborne, what did that do for you?
Yeah, I guess it was early on in the game. Last few weeks I just wanted to approach that piece with a mindset to attack it, not try and kind of feel my way into it, have real no regrets coming away from the game. So to attack it, as I said, I'm pretty blessed to have Dan and Ty on the other side and have a pack nearly full of Lions. So you come to that pretty confident that I know if I just do my job that I'll hopefully get a result. But yeah, it was pretty pleasing to start the game like that, to get an opportunity to create our team to get an opening try, which would put us in a good place.
Neil? Tom, you were kept pretty busy. The stats have you down for 20 tackles. Is that a number you've hit many times before in a game?
It's all a bit of a blur, but I felt like I kind of got around and I got busy anyway. So, to get 20 tackles is pretty good. But we knew it was going to require a pretty defensive performance. Seen Scotland last week in that high scoring game against France. So put myself in the best possible position to make those tackles. I guess it's pretty good, but I kept myself busy.
And how pleasing was it then that Scotland scored 3 tries each time they got in for a score? You went back down the pitch and put another one on within 2-3 minutes. Yeah, I think that's the learning from Wales. When we concede, it's just to keep attacking, and that was very pleasing that once we conceded a try and conceded a few points that we put the pressure straight back on them. We know Scotland is an incredibly dangerous attacking team. They bring the ball through a lot of phases, so we knew that we wanted to kind of
keep them in their half and keep that pressure on, not make their exits easy. So it was very pleasing from the team that we did that. Thank you.
Tom, could I just ask you about prep this week and for going up against Xander Fagerson? I know Darcy started last week. What's that like? Because you spoke to us a few weeks ago and you said you spoke to Cian Healy and he gave you some advice, but when you're going up against a tried and trusted international tight head, what is your prep like, maybe from Monday to now?
Yeah, I think it's trying not to break the prep that we've done the last few years. We have a pretty consistent preparation. I feel probably we're one of the best sides in the world in regards to our preparation. This week we really wanted to attack that and make sure that coming into this last week that we wouldn't miss anything or wouldn't kind of skim over anything. So we put a lot of detail into our preparation. It was short, sharp, but we wanted to put a pressure on ourselves to execute. I guess one thing that I kind of said over the last few weeks that I got the confidence from that training week to then into the weekend. And then when I got to it, I was going against a pretty experienced tight heads over the last few weeks, so I just tried not to put myself under too much pressure or think too much about that. Wanted to focus on myself and what I can do. So as I said, I wanted to attack it from the off, and I felt like the preparation throughout the week allowed that. As I said, it's been class having chatting with Cian last few weeks, and with his experience, just give me a little bit of advice. But then, as I touched on, with the experience that we have in the squad with Tig and everything like that, sitting down with him during the week, making sure that we're going over thoroughly through our sessions and making any fix-ups. So we had a couple of fix-ups throughout the week, but I was pretty confident that I could bring that then into the weekend. So it was pleasing and went well when we brought those fix-ups in.
And your overall confidence must be sky high, heading back to provincial level. Is it probably the highest it's been?
Yeah, I guess I'm just reflecting on it now. I guess when last 8 weeks being in this environment and going week on week, so I probably won't reflect on it until a couple of weeks later, just kind of soaking it all in at the moment. But I guess it's nice to finish on a result like that, and I can take my confidence from that.
All right, basketball.
Tom, now that you can look back in hindsight, can you tell us how you actually felt at the start of this championship when you were first selected? Was it daunting?
I was asked that question a little while ago, and I've done a lot of preparation with loosehead stuff behind the scenes over the last couple of years. I knew that an opportunity may come down the line. I didn't expect this big of an opportunity over the last few weeks. It's obviously due to a good few injuries within the Irish system, with especially looseheads. So I just wanted to have no really regrets leaving this campaign, and that the experience that I would get from the last few weeks will hopefully leave me in a really good place going down the line. I took the confidence, maybe not scrummaging on such a high level within games, but training and preparation that I've done over the last couple of years behind the scenes, keep chipping away at it, has allowed me to perform and to execute now when it's come to games.
Sorry, we just won here. Go.
Tom, the belief within this squad has been spoken about a lot for the last couple of weeks. It really showed in that game there today. What's it like to be amongst it? Can you feel it?
Yeah, you can really feel it. It's an incredible unit that we have, an incredible squad. As I said, there's some players that have been missed out due to injury, and when they come back in and we have a fully fit squad, it's hopefully going to be unbelievable what we can achieve. It's been a great campaign for guys getting opportunities, such as myself, to really perform within the squad and build that depth and build that character. I guess after the first week, we were pretty disappointed with France. First game of the championship, and I felt we've built nicely throughout the whole campaign. And it's a nice one to finish on with a proper performance against Scotland, which are really good side. And they showed that last week, and they've showed that kind of throughout the campaign. So really pleasing, and it's a real good belief for the group.
Hi Tom, sorry, you partially answered the question there. How would you assess Ireland's performance over the 5 matches? And do you think the team is in a good place looking forward to the summer and next year World Cup, obviously?
I think so. I believe we're in a really good place. This Six Nations has been really competitive. I think we've shown that since all the performances. Italy have come on incredibly well. Wales showed a really spirited performance last week, and that was a real tough physical game. I think as I touched on that first week against France, where we were fairly disappointed, to where we are now, I think we've built really nicely throughout the weeks. We've played some proper test matches, but it's been really tough. So, you know, it's no small achievement to win a Triple Crown as well. So to get that achievement today is extremely pleasing. And, you know, we'll go back to our provinces now and we'll play, and hopefully that leads us in a really good place for it to get to build during summer.
All right, last two, then we'll come back.
Yeah. Tommy, probably go back to your provinces. Richie said at the start of the week, you're still very much a tight head in his eyes. So that's the next challenge for yourself. So what challenges are presented for you converting back to tight head? Is it straightforward, just going back on the training paddock in Ulster?
Yeah, well, I've played a good few years tight head now. It'll probably take just a little bit, maybe a session or two to kind of get back into it, but I wouldn't expect it to take too long. You know, I had to prove to myself, first and foremost, that I had the capability to play both sides, and it's something that I wanted to bring into my game. That I'm a player that can be able to play on both sides of the scrum. So I guess the challenge now is to when I do return to the province, for what Richie wants and what the team needs, then it's an expectation to perform. So as I said, it's not to give myself any excuses, and to as I said, to keep that attacking mentality.
Two finals.
Tom, apologies if this has been talked about before, but Andy said in his press conference just now that at some point earlier in the championship, every player who had 10 caps or less was asked to stand up. I think the point was that you were a comparatively experienced group. Can you recall that? What was it all about?
Yeah, it was just one of the first meetings in Portugal that we had as a group. I think he just told the lads with 10 caps or less to stand up. Jesus, it's hard to kind of really recall what happened after that. Yeah, it was just to show that, you know, there was, due to injuries, there was a lot of guys within the squad that maybe hadn't had as much experience as previous, or some guys that have left the game and there's opened up opportunities for guys to come into the squad now. So I guess, yeah, it was just to highlight the where the group was at early on before kind of kicking off the campaign.
Very possible.
Tom, just thinking of how many times you've been up and down the road and not been involved, or, you know, not had your opportunity. How pleasing then was it to lift that trophy, knowing that you played such a big part in silverware for Ireland?
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, it's a really nice feeling. You know, as you touched on, not being within the squad and to come back in and to win a Triple Crown. Yeah, it's just, as I said, I'm reflecting on it now, but just trying to enjoy enjoy the day, enjoy the moment that's in it, enjoy the time with this group. It'll be soon, we'll be back at our provinces and we'll be clashing heads again with a lot of these guys. So it's an incredible group to be part of, and it's extremely honoured. I'm extremely honoured and extremely privileged to play a part within this team. You know, I knew what that kind of feeling was in 2023 when we won the Grand Slam and the Triple Crown as well, and I was part of that group for that campaign. So it's incredible to win, and I believe, you know, when you win with this group, that creates special memories. So to do that again today with this group and with the coaching staff that we have is incredible, and I just want to really enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment.
Go and enjoy it with.
Cheers. Thanks very much.